Today's workout is a 10-minute first trimester prenatal stretch. We'll work on releasing tight and tense muscles to help you feel good and energized. All you need is a mat. Let's get started. Hey mamas, welcome to today's workout. Today we have a 10-minute first trimester stretch workout. So we're going to be relieving aches and pains that you might have in the first trimester, and again, alleviating some of that nausea, morning sickness, or bloating that I know I am currently suffering from in my first trimester. So I'm right there with you, and we're going to come out of this workout feeling energized and ready to take on the rest of the day. So let's begin. Cross your legs and just stay in a seated position. We're going to place one hand on the floor and take the opposite arm up and over and just lean over to the side, keeping both of those sits bones on the ground. And then just reaching up and over. You can even look toward your inside of your arm, like your elbow crease here. And you can see I've placed this hand on the floor so you can lean over as much as it feels good. And you can even start to lower this elbow. But again, I don't want you to start to lift your hips. Keep those sits bones grounded. And just breathe into this space right here between the ribs and the hip flexors. That's going to help open things up and should feel really good. Now, if that's not comfortable, just stay at whatever space is comfortable for you today. It's all at your own pace. And we're going to keep going right into the next exercise after this, not keep any rest in between. But of course, if you need to take some more rest time, go for that. We've got a couple more seconds here. All right, let's do the other side. So we're gonna take that opposite hand now, plant it into the ground, and then just carefully reach up and over. Just take some deep breaths. That's really the way to kind of calm the nervous system, but also alleviate any tension, is just to really use our breath to create space, to open things up, to release any pressure or soreness or anything we're feeling in that side body. Again, feel free to take the arm down a little further if you'd like to. All right, we're going to stay seated for this next one. We're going to do some chest opening. So we're going to take both hands down and we're going to clasp the hands behind the back. So I'll show you from the side. So we're going to interlace the fingers, pull the knuckles down toward the floor. They may even touch the floor depending on the length of your arms here. And then just roll your shoulder blades back and down to open up the chest. So we don't want to stay in this hunched position. That's kind of our natural position. So we want to open things up and just hold this. And again, using that breath. This might be kind of tough to hold it, and that's okay. Just do what you can. During pregnancy, a lot of times we develop like a forward head posture and kind of a rounding of the upper spine. So it's really important to counteract that by opening up the chest, the thoracic spine with exercises, stretches like this. And you can even look up on this one if that feels good today. I like to close my eyes, especially if I'm feeling kind of nauseous. And it's not morning here. My morning sickness gets sometimes worse in the afternoons, I feel like. I don't know why they call it morning sickness. Okay, we're going to come onto our hands and knees. So bring your hands under your shoulders and knees under your hips here. We're going to go for a cat-cow. So we're going to inhale, release the belly, look up. Nice arch in the back, and then round the back. Tuck that chin, pull belly button to spine, push your upper back up toward the ceiling, just creating that nice rounding of the spine. Again, another great thoracic mobility exercise to release that pressure in the back body here. And great for if you're feeling any discomfort in your stomach, just like let it go here, really let your stomach hang. I know, like, I personally really suffer from bloating during the first trimester, kind of the middle of the first trimester, which is where I'm at right now. So this is a great exercise, mobility exercise, to help with that bloating and that pressure we feel in the stomach and the abdomen. All right, we're going to move to our next one, which is a deep runner's lunge. So I want you to take your front leg forward and the back leg back. So from 90 degrees, walk that back knee backwards. And so you're going to place your hands on the inside of the front foot and then just lean into that front foot. So you're pushing that back hip, the hip flexor toward the ground. You're pushing the front knee out over the ankle. So if you stay back here, you're not going to quite feel that stretch. So you really want to feel it in that back hip flexor. And you'll feel it here as well, opening up the hips, the piriformis. And again, just breathing into it here. You can even kind of move side to side or move back and forth a little bit. Kind of play around with it, whatever feels good here. And you can as well, you can push one hand up here if it's too intense to stay down that deep into the lunge. We're going to keep working this same side. We're going to shift our weight back for a hamstring stretch. So we're going to take our weight, and you can do a couple of things. You can stay here with this knee kind of under the hip and just propped up on your fingertips, or you can take your hips all the way back toward your heel, and you can kind of lean into it a little more. Now, I'm not very flexible through my hamstrings, so my ability to lean over my leg is like minimal. So that might be you. So I'm like, this is all I can do. I cannot lean any further forward. Also, I'm just gonna have to go like this. I'm so tight in my hamstrings. So this is why it's really important to do stretch work for me, because I'm not really good at this. This is not my wheelhouse, but a lot of people like prenatal stretch workouts. As I learned in my last pregnancy, I did a few prenatal stretch workouts, and those are my most popular prenatal workouts. So here you go. But I think it's that way for a reason, right? We're all looking for a little bit of movement in the first trimester, but usually you feel nauseous, bloated, etc., and you don't want to do something really intense. So this is just a great way to get a little bit of movement going, and it even help with some of that sickness we feel. Okay, let's switch to the other side of that deep runner's lunge. So again, we're going to walk that back knee back, hands on the inside of the front foot, and just push this hip flexor now toward the ground. These stretches are great, not only for the first trimester, but even a little bit beyond. Of course, you might have to modify a few things the further along you are in your pregnancy, but you can continue to do all of these in second and third trimester as well. It's going to help set you up for just a more comfortable pregnancy, first of all, just alleviating some of that tension that's there, because it's only exacerbated by carrying around a baby and growing body, a changing body. So if we can kind of do the work on the front end, it's going to help set us up for a more comfortable pregnancy and also just a better outcome in labor and delivery too. Okay, sit back into those hips. I'm going to scoot up a little bit. So we're going to just flex that front foot. And again, you can stay up high if you want to, or you can sit all the way back. And just however far you can take it. If you're really bending your knee here, just try to modify it by coming up higher. Don't try to come down here. I just hiccuped, if you can hear that. That is another one of my first trimester things. I hiccup a lot. Does anybody else do that? It's actually horrible. I hiccup a lot, and it makes me incredibly nauseous. So if you're struggling with that, I'm right there with you. Comment with your first trimester symptoms below. We can all just commiserate. This is my third pregnancy, and it's pretty much the exact same as my other two. So I'm curious to see. I have 2 girls already. Curious to see what we find out. We don't know yet the gender. Okay, we're going to go to a deep squat rocker. So what we're going to do here is take the feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart and squat down. Now I'm deep into this squat. If you can't get into this position, if it's too low, I want you to go grab something like a chair or a wall, and you can just go as low as you can in the squat, supported by a chair or a wall. But if you can, I want you to go all the way down, and I'm going to show you from the side here. So feet a little bit wider than hips, so we're going all the way down, and you can see here, my heels are down, my knees are pushing out, I'm pushing the knees out with my elbows, and my chest is lifted. So I'm not here, right? And I'm not here. I'm sitting back into the hips. Now, what you're going to do is just kind of rock back and forth. So you can see I'm just shifting my weight side to side. And you can even take your feet a little bit wider if you've got a bigger belly. If you're further along than first trimester, you might have to go wider with those knees. But this is such a good exercise. Squats in general are so good for pregnancy, labor and delivery prep, postpartum, all the things. All right, we're going to move into our last exercise, child's pose. So we're going to take the knees really wide here. Again, accommodating for that belly, hips back. Make sure your toes are touching, heels are open, and then extend the arms. And then just take some deep breaths here. focus on releasing all the tension you have left. So start with your fingers and your toes. Try to just release any pressure, anything you're holding on to there. Think about your hips, your stomach, your back, shoulders. Now your head, your face, forehead, eyebrows, mouth, your jaw. Just try to let everything relax. And that's it. You can stay there longer. I know sometimes a minute to relax is not quite long enough, but I hope you guys enjoy that. I know I'm feeling even just a little bit better than I was 10 minutes ago, which is huge for me. If you're feeling just nauseous or just out of character for yourself, I totally understand that, and I'm with you. But I hope that made you feel a little bit more energized to take on the rest of your day. If you're looking for more workouts, I have a playlist of workouts for each trimester, so I'm going to be taking you along with me in my pregnancy, and we're going to be doing all different kinds of workouts to get strong, stay healthy, and have just an amazing, beautiful pregnancy and delivery. So I hope to see you back here for our next workout together.